Hey guys. By the way, yes, I know that is a crappy ass thumbnail, but at least it looks more clear than the other one did, didn't it? Anyway, me and crappy thumbnails, what can I say? So we're here to talk about, VR and some of its future. Because I've noticed some of you guys keep on talking about it and keep on comparing it with the Love Dolls and all that, so I decided to talk about it today, real quick. Now, of course, what exactly is VR? Well, VR is just basically virtual reality. And lots of people actually aren't even familiar with the concept of VR yet. Actually, even to this day, even though it's out and about yet now, people actually still sometimes aren't familiar with it. And I don't know why. But, sometimes that's just how it is. I mean, just like a lot of people, even though there's like thousands, almost like over 1,000 Love Doll sites now, it seems like there's so many people that I talk to that aren't even have any knowledge or are even aware of these Love Dolls' existence. So what can I say? But moving on, of course, from that, and of course, augmented reality though. So there's no confusion between the two. Augmented reality is something like Pokemon Go, basically, is what augmented reality is. It's just a screen that's around, that's just kind of there to age and give you basic information or any other information of any kind, really. That's, in a nutshell, what augmented reality is. But of course, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about VR today. I'm just trying to distinct the, confusion and differences. And now with VR, you of course are more immersed in your surroundings. Is basically what VR is. So that you can put something on your head, you can look around, you can look behind you, depending on if it's a 180 view or if it's 360 view. I of course tend to always prefer 360 view versus 180 view with VR. And I know this because I actually have a VR headset. I have it for the PlayStation 4. I will be getting one day for my computer one of these days, but of course until then, I'm stuck with that for now because VR doesn't come cheap. It really doesn't. So in a way, VR is still kind of in its infamy stage. And sometimes people talk about like they've recently talked about on my channel about how they are making suits that are integrated with the VR that you can actually feel things as you are immersed in this imaginary world or otherworldly fantasy, etc. That whatever you're seeing, of course. And of course, I remember when I was a kid, they have for the longest time, when I was still like maybe 13, 14 years old, they were talking about how they were making this VR headset integrated with the suit that was, they were experiencing pornography with it, and how they were actually feeling like, the people touched them while they were watching this pornography and everything with this suit that they were wearing. And while, of course, it wasn't exactly perfect back then, it was kind of a neat idea, and they have been working on that for a long time now. And I'm not sure how many working prototypes that they have of this now because they've been developing it for so long. I have at least where we have finally seen some degree of work done in progress be done, of course. Of course, I'm of course not going to just talk about the stuff to jerk off with, although people keep on comparing them with the Love Dolls. And some people think that's, instead of having Love Dolls, we're just going to go VR instead. And, they probably have a reason for it. However, I don't think that's going to be completely the case, really. Because one thing that I do agree with is that making a 3D character walk and pick up things is a lot easier than making a robot walk and pick up things. So I will give it that. And so, in some way, you are going to be more immersed in this virtual world versus having a Love Doll. However, they of course are I would rather have the real thing than just something I'm watching, of course. But of course, that's also why I've talked about the bodysuits and everything that they've been making for it. even been making masturbators that are integrated with these things. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? People just always think about sex. What can I say? As soon as they come up with something, there's always got to be pornography with it. What can I say? But as far as how immersed people are going to be in it, sometimes people still think that we are going to be tricked into thinking that virtual reality is going to be real reality. We're going to be tricked into thinking this way. But, I haven't seen a single person ever get tricked by VR or made them think that, virtual reality is real reality after being in it for an hour or three or something. That noting something like that isn't, I would say, completely ridiculous, but it's kind of ridiculous because there's just absolutely no evidence to state something like that. And this, of course, was stated before we, even really had VR, I mean, I remember in the 90s we had VR, but it was like just something that looked like a standard TV on top of your head, and it was just barely VR at all. All you could do was like walk around a room, and that was it. But they are getting there, and the games are getting better. The realities that they're making are getting better, et cetera, et cetera. There's only room for improvement with this kind of technology. And, of course, we are starting to see some really cool things come out of it. And, I hope that some of these technologies come out before I die. Because it is taking them forever to make this stuff. But it's looking like it's going to be out. Some of the stuff that they have been developing for at least 30 years now is going to be out within the next 10 years or so, which is pretty neat. But, of course, with that being said, I guess I'll just end this video. I don't want to talk about this topic all day. This is something that I used to look into quite a bit myself. And again, I don't think it's really going to replace love dolls when it comes to the pornography and everything, but I do get why some people say that. And of course, I will just end this video right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.